Hi, my name is Jan Ragnrud. I'm the author of The Ultimate Guide to Optimizing Your Website with Entrepreneur Press and McGraw-Hill, out in the bookstores now. I am excited that you're here.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? It's Jan here. It is Friday Footage coming to you from a little booth here today. It's a nice soundproof booth. I hope this works a little bit better. Got some complaints from last couple of broadcasts that were way too sort of boxy and sounded like in a barrel somewhere. So hopefully this is better. But hey, I'm going to be teaching you some very cool stuff today. And we're going to cover Facebook. And Facebook, of course, hot topic. We had a great event yesterday, actually, Facebook did, rather, up in Hollywood for the Facebook Marketing Partners Expo. And we are a Facebook marketing partner, so that's why. And it's really cool to go and see what Facebook is doing at the corporate level. We're so in the trenches, we never really get to go to those conferences and workshops and things. So that was really cool. But today I'm going to share with you a great strategy for getting your metrics in line. I actually had a call on this just last week. This happens, invariably, not all the time, but Jan, how do I record my conversions? Meaning, I have step 1, step 2, step 3, there's the customer journey, right? It's the funnel, it's all of this. How do I track it? How do I get this set up? And so ultimately, Facebook allows you to do this through what's called a pixel, right? The Facebook pixel, rather. And you can set this up on pages on your website so that this pixel fires on a view if you just want to view the content. If you're getting into a lead conversion, which we're going to show here today, we can actually track the exact point in which they submit or do something that creates an action point, right? A trigger. Like a thank you page. So if you want somebody to go to a landing page, your traffic gets sent there. Your ad actually works to get that click in. And once they submit their information, that is what we call a conversion. That's a lead conversion, right? So I'm going to share with you how you set this up today. And Facebook does the rest for you. Now, with this kind of note about Facebook Pixel, I also want to say, you should also be tracking this at a much grander scale through the Facebook Analytics system, which you haven't checked that out inside the Business Manager. You should, but also Google Analytics, right? Get your environment set up and don't trust the analytics alone. Big sort of disclaimer there. Make sure that you track your CRM. We have multiple cases of Facebook showing one number. I got 10 today and the CRM shows 30, right? Or 25 or 12 or whatever. And this is not going to be exactly really almost ever, right? Because things are fluid on the good old interwebs. And so you want to make sure that you're tracking this both from a sort of a dashboard, a software-centric perspective, which you absolutely need to, but also by looking at things manually. And don't sort of rest on this, right? Don't ever sort of think, well, I got the software working. I don't have to worry about this. I can just run my dashboard and present the information. No, make sure that you track it also manually. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it here. All right, I flipped over the screen here. Should be seeing get started with custom conversions. How cool is that? All right. So basically what we have here is this is inside Business Manager on Facebook, and you go to the Events Manager section. Interestingly enough, we deal a lot with events and event marketing. And I was talking to a client not too long ago, and I was talking about the Events Manager, and they had no clue I was talking about the Events Manager inside the Business Manager here. So make sure that you understand and recognize these terms and allow your customers to not get confused. But we cleared it up, so it was all good in the end. But ultimately, just head on in here. There's multiple selections, as you know, from the menu bar. It sits under Measure and Report, Events Manager. And you can just come in here. And obviously, here's just a test account that we have here. And as I said, it's really your funnel could be a 2-step, 3-step, 5-step. There's many sort of pieces to this in the traditional e-commerce sense, right? You have basically the ability to click on an ad and land on, say, a product category or a specific product page. You would go ahead and add to cart, right? You'd be doing really following that checkout process. We're not going to cover that today, but very similarly, this pixel needs to be set up for each one of those touch points as you move forward. Today, we're just going to cover really just the concept of bringing it to a page, which, typically we have a squeeze page or landing page. They submit their information. So if it's a, white paper or some lead magnet checklist, a report or something, they enter the name and email and hit submit, and boom, thank you page, right? That's as simple as it gets, very common on the interwebs. And that's what we're going to do here today. So basically what you do is once you come in here, you click on create custom conversion. Now the assumption here is that you've set up the pixel and that you've deployed that on all of your pages on your website. So we're just going to go here and say that this URL, again, these are rules that get set up for the event, for the website events rather. And there's different ways to do this. This is what we call a URL-based conversion strategy here. You can do this through a custom pixel coding and customization to your page, which I absolutely recommend. But for simplicity, we just apply this rule to the URL. And in this case, we're just going to say, listen, we think we have a conversion. We know we have a conversion when the thank you page is rendered. So if you land on, say, LandingPage / landing page, and they submit their information and it lands on / thank you page, well, there's your simple funnel conversion, right? So we want to name this, and you just come in here, and this is like a thank you page lead, select a category. So there's many different categories here. I complete registration, customize product, initiate checkout, right? E-commerce style, purchase, e-commerce style, right? We're just going to go lead here. So we consider this a lead. We're not going to apply a conversion value to this. So although if this was, let's say that you're getting leads for a webinar and you're charging $47 for each webinar lead, right? That may be the value you enter there. Typically, we just leave that open because it's custom and it's all not necessary at that level, because very often these conversions at this sort of traditional, landing page to thank you page for a lead magnet, it's just a way for you to capture the name and email so you can service them better, provide some great value, and there's really no dollar amount associated with it. So basically, that's as simple as it gets. Now we have the pixel associated with this website, obviously applied, as I mentioned. And we're saying that the rule now is include all URL traffic for this particular event here that contains / thank you. Now, one sort of caveat or one point of interest here, make sure that this matches, right? So you don't need the /. You could literally put the thank you here. We just want to make sure that this is not part of any other page that might render this. We've seen this with clients where they have some generic, text string here, which, they basically are saying, hey, we're getting way, too many conversions or a lot of conversions. Come to find that there's other pages that triggers this. So make sure it's unique. That's why this, of course, belongs to the concept of developing hierarchies on your website that are logical and that are distinct. But also, here's where you have an ability to get a little more custom by applying code. We're not going to do that right now. As I mentioned, we're just going to use this URL-based approach here. But let me see here if there are any questions or any comments here so far. No, we're looking good, man. Okay, so let's continue on here. All right, so now that we have this set up, the pixel, anytime that fires for that thank you page, that URL right there, we're going to see activity. Right now, we're not seeing any activity, but this one turns green and you're good to go. What I recommend is that you just go out there and refresh the page. So go to that thank you page, you refresh it, and then come in here and just refresh this page. Loading, right? And then when it comes back, you're going to see that green button or that green little indicator up at the top saying that there has been an activity. So that's as simple as it gets, if you will. And ultimately, this is very powerful because obviously now you can see very well how often you are getting a conversion and what you might optimize in your funnel. And of course, this is very strategic and smart for, making sure that all of this stuff is not only working optimally, but that you can look at the data and optimize by data, right? Essentially, the data is what counts for all of this stuff. Yes, we love to mess around with graphics and videos and, copy and really smart angles in copywriting and what have you. There's many books on the topic. Clearly, there's a lot of information, and you get into all these sort of cute different ways of trying to address your audience and understand that. It's very important to have the customer match, right? Market to message match. As Dan Kennedy, he's still kicking, Dan Kennedy out there, but and as he would say, make sure you have a strong message to market match. But ultimately here, what we're talking about is making sure that you have all the creatives, all the messaging intact, and so that when you get a nice flow here of targeted traffic through your funnels, you can track your conversions and then optimize here too, right? So anyway, this is me coming from the Friday Footage booth on the west side here in Los Angeles today. Hope you have enjoyed this. Just very quickly here, this is a much bigger topic in terms of what you can do here. This is just really a way for me to demonstrate how this works for you here on Friday Footage. And that's the intention, to get you a snippet of information that can help you and things we get questions with. If you have questions, fire them off. We'll cover it here for you. And also, hey, if you like this, we'd love it if you go and subscribe and review and give it some thumbs up. That always helps, right? Anyway, hope you're doing extremely well and that you are having a phenomenal day and that this really, really helps you. So this is Jan Rogerud coming at you here on a wonderful Friday in Los Angeles. Hope you're having a great one yourself. And we'll see you on the next Friday Footage.
Hi, my name is Jan Rogerud. I'm the author of The Ultimate Guide to Optimizing Your Website with Entrepreneur Press and McGraw-Hill out in the bookstores now. I am excited that you're here.